Hello students, welcome to Social Science online classes. In the last session, we have discussed the first Anglo-Mysore War, the second Anglo-Mysore War, and apart from these wars, we have also discussed about Hyder Ali and Tippu Sultan. Now in this session, we shall discuss the third Anglo-Mysore War. The third Anglo-Mysore War broke out in 1790 and ended in 1792. Now let's discuss the reasons of reasons for the breakout of a third Anglo-Mysore War. See, the things were not very well between the British East India Company and Tippu Sultan since the end of a second Anglo-Mysore War. The Treaty of Mangalore had a provision that all the prisoners of a second Anglo-Mysore War would be released by both the sides, but Tippu Sultan did not agree this provision. Another reason for the breakout of the Third Anglo-Mysore War, in the same Treaty of Mangalore, there was a provision that the Britishers would not make any alliance with Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad. In 1789, the king of Travancore, Dharmaraja, built a fort in Kochi with the help of the British. Okay. See, the politics of Travancore was the main reason for the Third Anglo-Mysore War. What it is? The politics of Travancore was the main reason for the breakout of a Third Anglo-Mysore War. In 1789, the king of Travancore, he was Dharmaraja. His name was Dharmaraja. In 1789, the king of Travancore, Dharmaraja, built a fort in Kochi with the help of British. Okay. Kochi was under the control of Tippu. Apart from this, also Dharmaraja purchased two forts from Dutch East India Company. Okay. From Dutch East India Company. And these were all these were the clear violation of a Mangalore Treaty. What it was? It was a clear violation of Mangalore Treaty. Travancore at that time was an ally of Britishers and was doing these things with the support that Britishers will help if something goes wrong. Okay. These activities of Dharmaraja angered Tippu Sultan and he attacked Travancore. Okay. So, the British captured Karwar, Coimbatore, Dindigul and other regions. Sir William Meadows was the leader for this. Okay, under the leadership of Sir William Meadows, the British captured Karwar, Coimbatore, Dindigul and other regions. Tippu Sultan entered the region of Baramahal and captured a place called Satyamangalam. He later attempted to capture Tiruchinappalli, but he failed in capturing Tiruchinappalli. Okay, so under the leadership of Lord Cornwallis, the British army captured Kolar and Hoskote and rushed towards Bangalore under the leadership of Lord Cornwallis. The army captured Bangalore and destroyed the fort and finally occupied Bangalore. Further, the entire war direction changed when Lord Cornwallis started leading the British army and took the support of Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad to defeat Tippu Sultan. The war took another conclusive turn with joining the Marathas and Hyderabad forces with the British. Now the Marathas captured Saunuru, Gajendragada, Lakshmeshwara, Hubballi and other places. The combined army now marched towards Srirangapattanam and capturing fort after fort in 1792. Okay, so what happened? The fort was destroyed during the night. Disturbed by these developments, disturbed by these developments, Tippu Sultan tried to enter an agreement with the British. It was unavoidable for him. He had no other options. So Tippu had to enter an agreement. So he signed the Treaty of Srirangapatna in 1792, which had unfavorable conditions. With this, the Third Anglo Mysore War came to an end. Okay, so the Third Anglo Mysore War ended with the Treaty of Srirangapatnam. Now, let us have a look over the results and terms of uh, Treaty of Srirangapatnam. Okay, the results of Third Anglo-Mysore War. First of all, the war ended in 1792 with the Treaty of Srirangapatnam. The treaty was signed between Tippu Sultan and East India Company. Then Tippu Sultan was forced to give half of his kingdom to the trio of British, the Marathas and the Nizam. See here, Tippu Sultan was forced to give half of his kingdom to the trio of to the combined force of British, the Marathas and the Nizam. Then he was asked to pay 3 crore rupees as war damage fee. Next, Tippu Sultan also had to hand over 2 of his sons as hostages to the company, and he was forced to release the British prisoners of the war under his custody. Later, the British came out of the combined army from Srirangapatna. So, this is what all about the Third Anglo-Mysore War. Okay, now, now we shall discuss the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. It broke out in 1799. The Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. The main reasons for the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. The Treaty of Srirangapatna was humiliating to Tippu. It was a the Treaty of Srirangapatna was a humiliating treaty. So, Tippu had to pay all the dues to get released his children. He claimed over the Malabar region. Now see here. Tippu Sultan took the defeat in the Third Anglo-Mysore War personally. He paid 3 crore rupees fine and got released his children. And he also gave away the territory to the British and its allies as agreed in the Treaty of Srirangapatna. Okay. Then uh, he then When Tipu asked British to give away Malabar region and argued his rights on those regions, the British refused this argument. Then when Lord Wellesley became the Governor General of India in 1798, the political activities against Tipu Sultan became more more intensified, or the political activities against Tipu Sultan were strengthened during this time. So now Tipu's attempt to form an alliance of local rulers and his closeness with the French angered Lord Wellesley. Further, Tipu sent an ambassador to France to ask the alliance of the French. So, this again angered the British. Okay, they thought that an alliance between France and Tipu Sultan would damage the British rule in India. Okay, so Lord Wellesley forced Tipu to sign one more treaty where he must give most of his power. Tipu Sultan rejected to sign this treaty, which finally led to Fourth Anglo-Mysore War in 1799. The war started in 1799. The Britishers, the British were able to destroy the strong fort. Tipu died while fighting the British in 1799. With the death of Tipu Sultan, the British were happy as if the whole India came under their rule. So Tipu could not fulfill the dream of his father to drive out the Britishers from India. He died while fighting in the Fourth Mysore War. Then the most of the territories under Tipu's rule was shared among the British, Marathas and the Hyderabad Nizam. A small territory, a small territory was handed over to the royal rulers of Mysore Wadayars. Later, this region became the princely state of Mysore. The results of Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Territory was divided among the Tipu's territory was divided among the British, Maratha and Nizam. Old Mysore, a small territory, was handed over to the Wadayars, and later it became the princely state of Mysore. Then Krishnaraja Wadayar accepted subsidiary alliance. Okay. Now we shall discuss about Dondia Wagh. Dondia Wagh. After the death of Tipu Sultan, many soldiers and people opposing the British rule protested the British. These armed rebellions in the 19th century were led by a brave rebellion called Dondia Wagh. Okay, Dondia Wagh was born in a Maratha family of Channagiri. He was called as the Wagh, which means tiger, for his bravery. In the beginning, he was a soldier in Hyder Ali's army and later became the military general. He fought supporting Tipu Sultan by building his own private army, but due to the difference of opinions between Tipu Sultan and Dondia Wagh, he was imprisoned by Tipu Sultan and later British released him after the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. The British released him after the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. After coming back, he built a small army including unhappy soldiers from Tipu Sultan's army and some rulers who lost their power due to the British. With these combined armies, he captured Bidunur and Shimoga forts but failed while trying to capture Chitradurga fort. Knowing all this, Lord Wellesley planned an attack on Shimoga, Honahalli, Harihara, and other places which were under the control of Dondia. Now, Dondia lost all these regions. After losing even Shikaripura region, Dondia ran away towards Gutti, which was under the control of Nizam of Hyderabad. Very soon, very soon, when Nizam's army attacked Gutti, again Dondiawag ran towards Maratha region, where he was finally captured with his horses, camels, and arms. Even after this, Dondia was brave and continued his war against British. Now many unhappy Palegars also started supporting Dondia. Palegars are the military governors selected by mainly Vijayanagara Empire, Madurai Nayakas and Kaktiya dynasty. Who were Palegars? Palegars are the military governors selected by mainly Vijayanagara Empire, Madurai Nayaks and Kakatiya dynasty. Along with Palegars, later French also started to support Dondia. But British were following Dondia in many places like Harihara, Chitradurga, Shikaripura, Savnuru, Ranebannuru, Kitturu and Londa. The British took over Shirahatti region and killed many followers of Dondia Wag. Now, end of Dondia Wag. Dondia captured, Dondia recaptured Shikaripura fort from the British. Dondia Wag recaptured Shikaripura fort from the British. Seeing these developments, Lord Wellesley planned an attack from all the directions against Dondia army near Tungabhadra and Malaprabha. Now what happened? When Dondia recaptured Shikaripura fort from the British, seeing all these developments, what Lord Wellesley did? Lord Wellesley planned an attack from all the directions against Dondia army near Tungabhadra and Malaprabha. Finally, when Dondia left Raichur, he was caught by Marathas and Nizam's army, and finally British attacked him and killed him at Kunigal. Finally what happened? He was caught by, finally Dondia, he was caught when he left Raichur, he was caught by Marathas and the Nizam's army, and finally British attacked him and killed him at Kunigal. And after the death of their leader, Dondia's followers divided and scattered. British finally captured large amount of arms and ammunitions like bullets and shells from Dondia. Finally, what happened? The British captured large amount of arms and ammunitions like bullets and shells from Dondia. This is how Dondia Wag was killed by the British. Okay, dear students, now we shall end this session. In the next session, we shall come up with the other rebels in Karnataka. Till then, till then, you write the notes of the completed topics. We'll discuss about the other rebels in the next session. Okay.